welcome back to On Our List. And today on our list is a really important PSA we want to talk about.
Right.
We're going to be talking about probably about one PSA a month. Is something that's just really important to us. Mm-hmm. And Malaika's going to lead the first one.
Yeah, so this month we're going to talk about breast cancer awareness. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I recently had I guess I could call it a breast cancer scare. It sounds dramatic, but that's what it was. I don't want to underplay it.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to give you guys the quick lowdown. So back in I think early November, I noticed a lump in my breast, in my left breast, right here. And I didn't think much of it because lumps come and go in the breast. That's actually very common for women.
It's also, I want to point out, very proactive of you and good that you do self-check.
Yeah, I self-check all the time.
And every woman, that's such an easy thing to do when you're in a shower, just to quickly self-check.
Mm-hmm. You can do it, every day.
Yeah.
And this sounds weird, but I'm constantly I just touch my boobs a lot. So I noticed it really quickly and just monitored it for a month. I was like, oh, it'll probably go away. Well, November went through, it was December, it was still there. Hadn't changed, same size, but was still there. Mentioned it to my mom and my sister, and they were like, okay, well, maybe you should get it checked, because it was it was a hard mass, so it just feels suspicious. So we were going out of town for 3 weeks, so I was like, okay, if I come home and it's still there, I'll go to the doctor. So we were in Sierra Leone, I was gone 3 weeks, I came back, it was still there, it was the same size. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make an appointment. It's probably nothing, but let me just check.
Yeah.
So I made an appointment, I went to my regular doctor, he did a regular check, and he sent me to get a mammogram and an ultrasound and then possibly a mammogram. And then the fear kind of started to set in, because even though I knew I was going to have to go, I already knew I was obviously going to have to do an ultrasound. It's different when someone's telling you to your face. And then, they gave me the paperwork and they had written stat on there, even though he was telling me, they always write stat. When you see, stat on a paper about yourself and it says, highly suspicious, it's scary. So I went, actually I had to wait 2 weeks, which was awful, because it was that's one thing I didn't understand. If this is stat, why am I waiting 2 weeks? Yeah, so I waited 2 weeks, got an ultrasound. Then while I was in the ultrasound, my mom came with me. She didn't come to the back, but she just came with me to the doctor. I got the ultrasound, and they were like, okay, if we think you don't need to do the mammogram, we won't. But then I ended up having to do a mammogram. So then I went through that whole thing, oh my God, I have to get a mammogram. Which, once again,
it's the progression is scary.
The progression, and also mammograms are not scary, by the way. If anybody, people make them sound have you ever had one?
No, I never had.
They make it sound like it's really awful and it hurts. It doesn't. They just put your boob in this thing and they smush it. It's fine. Just so you know. So then I did that, and then I had to wait another 4 or 5 days for my doctor to call me back. And then he called me back and told me I needed to do a fine needle biopsy. So when I went to the doctor initially, they had told me, okay, if the lump is filled with fluid, then they won't do a needle biopsy. But if it's a hard mass, they're going to do a biopsy anyway. So even from the start, I knew I was going to probably have to get a mammogram, and then I was also going to get a biopsy. But during those 2 weeks, a lot of people got in my head and were like, oh, you'll be fine. You're super young. It's probably nothing. But so by the time I actually heard that I was getting the biopsy, it had been 3 weeks since I'd been to the doctor initially. So the fear had come up, and it was just I'm not gonna lie, for 6 to 8 weeks, maybe 2 months, I kind of thought I was gonna die a little bit.
Oh, God.
It was awful, and I was just pretending that I was okay. I'm really good at faking it. I don't think.
Yeah, and I also didn't know about this until last week.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody.
Obviously, we're very close, so
But I didn't feel the need to tell.
I'm glad you did it though, because I would have.
People would have been worried, and you don't want to. I didn't want to say anything because I knew that I had an idea, oh, we'll probably be fine. But actually, I didn't know. I'm not one of those people who thinks I'm invincible. Some people think nothing's gonna happen to them. I am not that girl. I'm a hypochondriac to the T. So I was going all the way there. When I went to Sierra Leone, I had lost a lot of weight, maybe 10 pounds. And I was only there 3 weeks, and we kept being why did I lose so much weight? I was eating and then I started, because of this, I started to think, oh my God, something's wrong. And that's why I lost all the weight. My mind was just going totally out of control. And we had actually, I didn't tell Gabby this, but the day that we last got together and filmed, I was having a really bad day. Like I was really down, and I was almost gonna be like, let's not film today because I'm not like mentally prepared. But I just like was like, no, we have to film today. It'll probably make me feel better, and it did help. But I was just like, I was in this cloud for like 3 days that week because the needle biopsy was coming up on Monday, and I was starting to get really stressed out. And I also want to shout out one of my friends at PSW. She just really talked me down because I had a little breakdown in class, and then I went home. And then I also spoke to someone one night when we went out after class. Shout out to Liz. She just talked to me about life. She didn't know that I was upset about anything, but she was just really helpful, and it really helped me like calm down. But then anyway, move on. Monday, I went and got the needle biopsy. I was really like trying to be cool in the morning, but I was definitely stressed out. Like I got lost going there, and I never get lost. Oh, and I wanted to tell you about the biopsy. I actually enjoyed the biopsy because I like medical stuff. So I was like just asking questions when I was in there. Like I was more nervous about getting to the appointment, not the actual needle. I don't have a fear of needles. So I didn't actually get to watch her put the needle in, but they put the needle in like here. Like this is where like I'm still sore there, and then the lump is like here. So like, I don't know how long the needle is. I'm guessing it's like this. So they put it in there, and then they literally shake your boob around because it's hard to get it in there, and then they shake it around, and then they take 3 samples. So they do it 3 times, which I'm sure for some people is like hell on earth.
That I wouldn't like that.
I personally was.
But I will do anything to help.
Also, I'll insert like some video because I took video of myself like the day I got it.
Little bruising, a little blood, but yeah, that's where they stuck the needle in.
Like I wanted to watch, and she was like, look this way, not so. But then I was watching in the ultrasound screen. I could see the needle in there. And then what they do is they leave a titanium chip in your boob, like a very small one, so that if you did have cancer, they would know right where to go, like right where to go back to. And if you don't, then they know that place is checked. And then luckily for me, like they told me I was gonna have to wait a week to hear. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to wait a week. But they actually ended up calling me the next day and telling me that everything was fine, that it was like a benign, I forget the wording now, it was like a benign stromal something, which basically means like a calcium buildup. So if like this lump might not, like it's actually still here, but it might go away, it might not. And they say it doesn't matter. If it's there, we'll check it in a year. Don't worry about it. And sometimes they just don't go away. So
how big can you feel? Like how big is it? Like when you feel it?
It's like that.
Yeah.
But when I first saw it, it was like this big.
So it's gotten smaller.
Oh yeah. Well, what actually made me really go to the doctors, the first week when I came home, I noticed that it was smaller, but it was harder. So I was confused. I was like, okay, it's smaller, but it's more like obvious. Like I could see it. Like if I moved my arm, I could see it moving. So then by the time I went to get the needle biopsy, it had like shrunk from like this to like this. So I kind of knew it was like probably not anything, but still. And now it's just kind of maintained this like size like that.
I can give you some facts. So 1 in 8 women are diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime, which is crazy and a lot. I have people in my family who've had breast cancer. Breast cancer is also the most commonly diagnosed cancer in women.
So that's why I really want to put this out there and be like, ladies, doesn't matter how old you are, check your titties. Can you say titties on
Yeah, why not?
Check
your
titties. Be aware of your body.
Girls.
Check your girls. Your girls are very important, and you've got to know what's going on with your body, and don't be afraid to go to the doctor. Like I was really scared. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was really scared, and every time I felt bad, I'm like, well, at least I'm getting something checked. At least something's getting done. At least I'm being proactive. If there's like a negative, if I get, that this is a malignant tumor, okay, at least I'm in the early stages. I know that I am because I know that I noticed it early.
Yeah, be proactive with your health. So we also know that like healthcare is expensive, and sometimes you can't afford it. Sometimes you don't have health insurance, and if you're in a situation, like there are places you can go. You can go to Planned Parenthood. You can go to other free clinics that they're around. If you're in a college, there's free clinics there.
Yeah, do your research on that because I totally understand that it is expensive. I mean, I still have to pay a little back, and I have insurance, but get out there, look around. There are resources for you. You know what I mean?
So take care of your body.
check your boobs, check
We
your
love
girls.
you.
And it's
Yeah.
really important. I really wanted to share this message because, you know, they say that breast cancer isn't common in young women, but it does happen. So, you know, don't think it can't happen to you, and just be proactive about your body because you only have one.
So thanks for watching on our list, our little PSA, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi guys, so I'm just coming in. Sorry, I don't know where to look. I'm gonna look over here and ignore myself. I'm about to go to bed. But I'm just coming in at the end of this video because at the time that me and Gabby were making this video, we were in a hurry. We were late for dinner with our friends, so I realized after editing there was a couple things I left out, and I just wanted to mention that that period was really rough for me. I know I say in the video, but I don't know if I'm really expressing how draining it really was for me. And I genuinely, there was a period where I felt this, like, I felt like I had a gray cloud over my head. I was just so low because I was so worried, and I was trying to, just the constant going back and forth in my head was really tough, just the not knowing. But about a week or so before I had the needle biopsy, I went to dinner with my aunt, and she knew that I was having this test. And I know some people aren't religious, and that's fine. She had said to me, you know, you just have to pray and just let go and let God. And she told me that, you know, God never leaves people alone. And I just took that in, and she also told me a lot. She's like, just think positively. Just have faith and think positively. And I'd already heard that before, obviously, but I really took it in that day. And I remember I went to bed that night and I prayed, and I just I just filled my head with positive thoughts. And I remember, which is crazy, I woke up the next morning before my alarm. It might have been a Saturday, so I woke up at like 6 a.m. and I was so consumed at that point. So if I woke up in the middle, my hand would just go straight to my breast just to see, because I was constantly checking it. And I put my hand there, and I felt it was smaller. That's the first change I'd seen in it in a while. And I remember I had like tears in my eyes as I like fell back asleep because I was so relieved. And I just thought to myself, wow, the power of just having a little faith and positive thinking. I don't know, but it felt like a little miracle. I don't know, it's giving me a life lesson. It's weird. It feels like it came to me at a good time. Even though it was terrible, I'm happy about it now because I feel like it's made me a better person. I don't know, I feel like I'm getting really deep. I wanted to tell you that. That's it. I'm gonna go to bed and see you guys in the next video.